a massive earthquake struck Heaven's Tower, signaling a grave danger. On that fateful day, the existence of the revered Demargania, known as the Holy Void, was on the brink of extinction. This seems highly perilous. Could it be the one who wreaked havoc on the earth long ago? I will immediately consult with Lord Dagruel about this. Right, we must prepare for the worst-case scenario. Zonda, hurry to Beretta's location and ensure Shin is informed as well. Upon receiving Ultima's orders, Veyron and Zonda swiftly sprung into action. Now, if my expectations are correct, should I consider fleeing? Ultima didn't wish to resort to that, but she was ready to do so if the situation demanded it. Rimuru-sama also had faith in Dagruel, yet he harbored doubts at the same time. Rimuru appeared to be an amiable individual, and it was true that he possessed a somewhat gullible nature, but in reality, he was quite cunning. Even Ultima, a king among demons, held respect for his strategic prowess. In the past, Rimuru had casually made a thought-provoking remark. It's rather curious that you're seeking Veldora's assistance despite explaining the enemy's intentions. During the Walpurgis banquet, Dagruel persistently sought Veldora's aid. Michael was after Veldora's dragon factor, and Dagruel was aware of this, yet he insisted on Veldora's presence instead of Ultima's. It made sense considering their familiarity, but it still bothered Rimuru. While their acquaintanceship was a convincing reason, it left him puzzled. Ultima, on the other hand, didn't think Rimuru was overthinking the matter. After hearing Rimuru's account, she had thoroughly pondered over Dagruel. Consequently, she arrived at the same conclusion as Rimuru, acknowledging that the possibility of Dagruel betraying them was not zero. After all, Dagruel was born from the Mad King of the Giants, wasn't he? He went on a rampage, seeking to destroy the world and was eventually sealed by Velda Nava-sama. Though she lacked precise details, Ultima could surmise certain aspects. Moreover, this territory was adjacent to Ultima's domain, granting her more knowledge about Dagruel than anyone else. Rimuru must have dispatched Ultima here with that expectation in mind. It's easy to feel a surge of excitement when you think of the people relying on you. Ultima entertained this notion as she arrived in Demargania and commenced her investigation of Dagruel, delving into the possibility of his betrayal, and she stumbled upon a clue. While Dagruel was said to have 3 brothers, only one younger brother had been introduced to her. She believed that the remaining brother held the key, but at present, a formidable presence was launching an assault. The aura bore resemblance to that of Dagruel and his brother, Glassord, the Mad King of the Giants. Ultima murmured, her face displaying a fearless smile. When Veyron entered the throne room, it resounded with furious shouts. The reason behind the anger was understandable. The divine structure known as Heaven's Tower had been restored to its original purpose, which meant that a gateway to the heavens had opened. Originally, Heaven's Tower served as a divine fortress capable of protecting its inhabitants from any enemy. However, this time, the tower had turned into a battleground. It was inevitable that the people residing in this land would be greatly upset. From the upper floors of Heaven's Tower, Dagruel glared down at the lower levels, reminiscent of the recent Walpurgis event. Self-centered demon lords had consistently asserted their dominance while still considering the perspectives of their adversaries. They appeared lacking in cooperation, yet their opinions strangely aligned. In accordance with the agreement, Demon Lord Rimuru's subordinates had diligently coordinated the magic transfer circle until recently. Now, they had settled down, just in time for the final battle. Dagruel was impressed by their hard work and the flawless execution of their duties. To show his gratitude, he hosted a grand feast to honor the team's efforts. While the magic circle's purpose was officially stated as facilitating emergency transportation, it was evident that the creator had long-term plans in mind. Despite being an impromptu project, Dagruel considered it a remarkable achievement. If it could be used to move troops, it could also serve as a means for numerous merchants to travel. Demon Lord Rimuru, a figure not to be underestimated. Utilizing the magicules in the air, Rimuru had devised a complex magical device accessible to everyone. While there might be limitations on its usage, replenishing the magicule supply would be a simple matter. It would be far safer than traversing the magical desert. With this magic transfer circle, they would no longer face such hardships. Until now, it had been common knowledge that teleporting food and other items was impossible. However, in the future, such problems would be resolved. It was both astonishing and terrifying for Dagruel to witness how far Demon Lord Rimuru's ambitions extended. The Demon Lord possessed ideas that had never crossed Dagruel's mind, and he genuinely admired Rimuru's audacity. Dagruel didn't wish to make an enemy of him. However, his excitement was abruptly interrupted by an unexpected visitor. Suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind. "My friend Dagruel, it's been a long time. I'm glad to hear you're doing well." I have been wanting to reach out to you as soon as I returned, but things have been chaotic. Finally, I have the chance to speak with you. So it's you, Feldway. I appreciate you calling me a friend, but we are enemies now. I don't have much time, so tell me what you want. It's a shame that you're being so cold. I was hoping to ask for your assistance as well, you know. The revival of Velda Nava. I'm not interested. While I hold no grudge against him for sealing Fenn, and I am grateful for him granting us this land and taking care of us, that doesn't mean I think it's my duty to help him return. From Dagruel's perspective, he had even harbored anger towards Feldway upon learning that Michael had gained mental control over Dino, Dagruel's true friend. When he heard that Dino had betrayed them, he couldn't comprehend the madness that had befallen him. After all, there was no way that idiot Dino would willingly choose to betray us in such a troublesome manner. Apologies, circumstances have changed. I have become more optimistic about the future, and I cannot betray Rimuru, as this is all thanks to him. The offer was swiftly declined, indicating that further negotiations would be futile. With that, Dagruel stated, "The next time we meet will be on the battlefield," and unilaterally ended the telepathic communication. That Feldway, I can't believe he unsealed Fenn. Is it because I refuse to cooperate? Don't worry, brother. He is consumed by his own obsession. It was only a matter of time before this happened. Veyron looked at his relaxed brother and expressed his dissatisfaction. Wait a minute, I can't just let that statement slide. Has Dagruel-sama been in contact with the enemy? This was an order from Lord Ultima, and Veyron was determined to pursue the matter without allowing any excuses. However, it turned out to be disappointing. Dagruel had no intention of hiding anything from the start. Now, calm down. I acknowledge your strength, but you are weaker than me. Please calm yourself, Veyron Dono. It is true that my brother received an offer from Feldway. However, he declined it, and that's why we are here. Our esteemed king had concerns about the questionable actions of Dagruel-sama. We would like a clear explanation. Well, I understand. Uncle, you wanted to seek help from Rimuru-sama, didn't you? During Walpurgis, you wanted to raise suspicion and show your connection with the enemy, am I right? Ultima, who arrived later, posed a question to Dagruel. Excellent, just as I expected from my old rival. I'm glad you're here instead of Kerra. With a wide smile on his face, Dagruel affirmed that Ultima was correct. By implying his involvement with Feldway, he wanted to suggest that he and the Holy Void could become targets. Like Dino, he didn't want to be unwittingly turned into a traitor. Although the possibility was not zero, he decided to leave it as a subtle hint, as stating it outright would likely lead to misunderstandings. So that's what it was. Then, it went exactly as Uncle anticipated, right? Rimuru-sama understood the situation perfectly. Rimuru-sama is a shrewd and perceptive individual, so this scenario was probably part of his calculations. Therefore, I believe we can manage without worrying. Did you hear that, Glassord? My comrade is truly remarkable. I always knew that the man with the divine eye, who swiftly dealt with Clayman, would see through my intentions. Ultima and Dagruel had a sincere and intimate conversation in the absence of Rimuru. It was likely a fortunate event for both of them, unaware that their meeting was based on a complete misinterpretation. Nevertheless, their reconciliation was successfully accomplished. Well then, let's give it our all until Rimuru-sama arrives. Ultima-sama, I am at your command. I will vanquish your enemies and present them before you. Absolutely, I'll take a shot at him too. Taking on Fenn will be quite a challenge, but perhaps I'm the only one who can stop him. I'll accompany you, brother. Inspired by the determination of Ultima and the others, who were initially their guests, the Dagruel brothers swiftly mobilized to intercept the attackers.